So, I tried to look a little presentable for this video. I really just wanted to do it in my pajamas. Happy New Year! I pray for happiness, health, whether it's mental health or physical health, just for everyone and all of you guys. I just hope this year is a better year. Last year wasn't that great for a lot of people, but I believe that this year will be a better year, and I will strive to make it that way for myself, and I hope you all would do the same. Let's get started with the video. For this video, I wanted to start the year by talking about something that I hold dear, and I think it's also something that a lot of people have on their bucket list and they just don't have the courage or the funds to try it. And I believe that this year is the year. Get out of your comfort zone and do it. The topic I want to talk about is study abroad. Pick up place. Some people, like myself, have had places on their bucket list that they want to cross off. For me, I knew I wanted to go to Japan, Korea, London, Spain, France. Those were my 5 places that I wanted to go. I just knew that based on like the cultures I liked and the pictures I've seen and people I've talked to. If you're the type of person that doesn't have anywhere in mind, then maybe if you really like this kind of food, maybe try to visit that place. Or you see in pictures of beautiful beaches or in like architecture, and then try to visit that place. Or you can be like some people that I met while I was studying abroad in Korea, and they just like put their finger on the map and they went there. And don't worry about the language barrier. You will survive if you don't just go off running away with like random people you don't know, and you stick to the group and you stick to people you know. You'll be fine. Like in Korea and Japan, they have English everywhere. In Spain, it wasn't like a thing because I went with a group of people. Not people I knew, but people on the program. So don't worry about language. Trust me, people survive every day in another country not knowing the language. Next thing you want to do is decide when you'll go. Specifically for college, you have to figure out what semester you'll go. In most colleges, you can decide whether you do spring semester, fall semester, summer semester, or just a year long or more. If you're the type of person that gets homesick really easily, maybe a semester or a year isn't for you. But you should try to look at summer because those are shorter than semesters. They're about 3 weeks, maybe a little bit more than that. It just helps you so like you're not that homesick. For me, I did a semester. I actually wish I did a year because I had so much fun. I did a semester as my safety net because although I don't get homesick a lot, I have a fear of missing out. That's my biggest thing. Like, I'm scared I'll miss out. Over the years, I have grown out of that more, but at the time, I thought I would miss my friends so much, and I did. I missed being there and having all that fun, and crazy things were happening and I wasn't there, and you just learn to let go. If your school doesn't have a program that you can go with, there are always a lot of different programs. I'm going to only speak on the ones that I know about. So for me, I went with my school. My school was linked to a lot of different schools in a lot of different countries. So I just went based on my school because they had countries that I wanted to go to, so I didn't have to go far for that. However, a lot of people when I was studying abroad in Korea went through ISET. I don't know much about ISET, but I know it is reliable because a lot of people have gone on it. So you can always check that out. And when you do plan out your trip, keep in mind that you need to talk to the international department of your school, if you guys have it, or your advisor, so that you can decide how you will be credited. Say that you don't want to go with school. There's always EF college break, which is something that I went on, and it was so much fun. It was kind of my graduation gift from high school. My aunt wanted us to just travel. Traveling around the world gives you a different perspective on life and yourself, and it makes you think outside of your little circle. That is America, or that is your hometown. So I think that's what she wanted us to do. So I went with EF college break after I graduated that summer, and it was for 14 days. And honestly, it was amazing. For EF college break, I did have to pay a hefty fee. Well, I didn't pay it. It was my graduation gift, and I am so grateful. Like, I don't know how they afforded that, but it was an amazing trip. Basically, I don't know if it's for all of the trips that they provide, but for my trip, you had to be 18 and older, just because I was going to Spain, London, and France, so you had to be drinking age so that you didn't get into trouble. And basically, I went with a bunch of people. I didn't know. That sounds scary at first, but actually something I did was they started a Facebook group, and you can just like talk to people in there, and people would always comment. And I was talking to this girl, we were just commenting like similar things on posts and stuff like that, and then we started messaging. We're like, hey, do you want to be roommates? While we were in these different countries, everyone thought that we knew each other beforehand, but we just met like that. And a lot of other people didn't even come with anyone. Only like 3 people came with like significant others. 2 people came with friends. That's it. Out of like, I think 25 people that were there, like most of us just took the plunge and went. And honestly, it was so much fun. And with such a huge group, you'll find someone that you click with. And to be honest, these kind of trips are what you make it. If you're gonna whine about it, if you're just, I don't want to be here, you don't want to do anything new, you just want to eat McDonald's, then your trip's gonna suck. You need to go with an open mind, willing to try new things, meet new people. If you don't come with either an open mind or a neutral mind, it's going to be miserable the whole time. Another program that I know of is People to People. My cousins went on that program when they were younger. All I remember is you have to do a lot of work for that program, but you can go while you're in like high school and middle school. They have different age group programs. These are just alternatives if you can't go with your school or they don't have a time that you can go. These are the ones I know of for sure and I would recommend. Obviously there's a bunch of different ones out there, but just make sure you see how credible the program is before you go on it. The thing that you all want to know, how do I get the money? Obviously it's not easy. So for me, the one that I went to after I graduated high school, I didn't pay for that. I didn't know about the money, none of that. I just picked the places I want to go and it was gifted to me. However, when I went to Korea, I had to figure that out on my own. For me, I applied to scholarships. I promise you, from someone that never wins anything. And when I say anything, like I can't even win the raffles at little events. When I tell you, I'm the type of person that applies to like 100 different scholarships, didn't get it. I applied to over 100 jobs before someone ever calls me back. So my school had a few scholarships they gave for study abroad. There was also one that they talked about that my friends got before. It's a Gilman scholarship. And basically you write 2 essays and then the GPA, you need recommendation letters. And I did that whole process with no hope in mind. Not like no hope, but I just didn't get my hopes up. And then the day that the results came out, I was so shocked that I got it. And they gave me a lot of money to go on this trip. A little over $3,000. For a lot of places, that's just a plane ticket and some food. You can't buy your plane ticket with that money. You can only buy books and stuff like that. Also, I received financial aid from my school. Lucky for me, being in Georgia, I do get the Hope Scholarship. With my financial aid plus that money, I was able to afford this whole thing. The money that I got from financial aid paid for my tuition to my school, because it's not to the university I'm going to, but it's to my home university. And also it paid for my plane ticket, and the other money paid for my food, the dormitory, the books, everything. You'll be surprised if your university doesn't have an extensive study abroad program. Like a lot of people don't do it, a lot of people don't know. It's easier for you to win scholarships and stuff like that from your school to go abroad. And you can also just do the old-fashioned thing. You can work. This is what you want to do. Work hours, work while you're in school. Don't let it hinder your education, but definitely work for it. You can attain it. So yeah, that's how I afforded study abroad. I never in my wildest dreams thought that I could study abroad. And although it did set me back a semester, because for my major, I should finish in fall and do my internship in spring, but instead I finished it in spring and I did my internship in fall because I couldn't find anything in summer. But do what you have to do. Personally, for me, I feel like study abroad can only elevate you. If you've been in America your whole life and then you go to another country, it's kind of like, oh, these people exist. Like, they exist, but like you experience it with your everything. It's just amazing. And also, study abroad really does help you on your job applications. I put study abroad and all of that on my resumes and job applications. Almost every time the employers have asked me about my travels. Like my first ever part-time job, we talked about myself a little bit. The rest of the time, she wanted to know about my study abroad. For my internship, my supervisor asked me about my study abroad because she was going to Japan, and I had been to Japan, and we were just like bonding over that, and it just makes you more personable. You know, a lot of people want to do things like this but can't, or they miss their window of opportunity. While you're young, doing something like this it's just feel like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like once you do it, you know. I feel like once you start traveling, you just kind of get the traveling bug, and you want to go to other places and stuff that interests you, or you want to revisit the places that you've already gone and like explore them more. I just think everyone should do it, just at least once if you can. And even if you can't do one of these programs, even if you could just save up your money and go for a week, you don't even have to go just by yourself. Just go with a friend or a family member and just plan a little itinerary of things to do. Look at the best places to eat, the best places to go to see, do touristy stuff. Just like immerse yourself in that short period of time, and I feel like it changes you. For me, when I went to Korea, I actually, I've always wanted to go, but then I don't know, I wanted to chicken out. Like, I had already paid for the ticket and everything, and it was coming down to the days, and I was scared, I guess. Like, I was just anxious, and I was just like, can I just not go on the plane? And like, as I touched down and everything started for me, it was not as I touched down, because there was a lot of bumpy things, but as I got settled down, it was just like, it was amazing. I was so bad at directions before I went. I still am really bad at directions, but I challenged myself, and I traveled by myself like at least one time, and I didn't get lost until the very last day. And for me, that's an accomplishment, because I get lost every day. I think I rambled enough. If you guys have any more questions about study abroad, just leave a comment in the comment box, whatever. I'm gonna link these things like the scholarships and the programs in the description box. Like, subscribe. If you want more videos about this, or want me to elaborate or anything like that, please let me know. Happy New Year, and I hope and I pray that this is a great year for you. And yeah, bye.